Is it? Wait. Okay.
Recording
Wait.
started. Are we recording
Well,
it or we're
that's good
going
that yours
live?
says that because mine says
Is it live or recording? It says
we're
live.
recording right now, obviously, but now it's working. But it says we're just going to discuss this while we're on live. It's fine.
Hey, I do
it
see it says live for 20 seconds
says,
now. So
okay. All right. Well, either way, it says my thing says Facebook made a change on December 16th that limits new pages from going live for a few weeks. Oh,
oh,
because we can't go
okay.
live
That
to
must be not
non-custodial live.
nice.
Either
Right? It's
way, I
not
clicked it
live.
anyway. We
Nice.
are
There you
live,
go.
but not
Override.
on
Take that.
non-custodial live.
That's all right. Next time we're good.
Is it working? We're
But
good.
thanks. Yeah, I can't see any of that kind of stuff on my side. So as a guest today, my computer's in the shop.
Zach
Go for it.
Martin is the guest
Yes,
today. And everybody needs
I'm
to
the guest.
wish Zach a happy birthday. He's 39 and
I, I wish I
everybody
was
needs to
39
tell Zach
again.
happy birthday. We've had to
Well,
reschedule
thank
with
you.
our original guest a couple times because it's the holidays and things are crazy for everyone. But how
Lots
old
of
did you say you
people.
really were?
Yeah, he's really doing. I'm 44, actually, which feels weird. I'll be honest. I could be in my 20s, really easily. I don't think that I would feel any different. I feel really good for 44, so I'm gonna enjoy 44.
Whoop whoop.
43 was pretty great. For giving me some love. So, Shawn, yeah, he
So
was
our
gonna be on
guest today
today,
is
but
Zach Martin.
yeah, he was disposed. He had some stuff going yesterday. He was moving some things to help a dad that we know. I'm not gonna say his name out loud, but he knows who he is, and he's been doing a lot of great stuff to be with this. I was gonna go down there and help him out, and I think he moved things to get them ready to move down to where they were in Southern Virginia, and and he's old, so he jacked himself up. And he is probably laying on the couch right now. Hopefully you're watching, Shawn. We'll do it again another day. Alicia and I talked about not doing a live today, and then we decided to do the live, right?
Yes, because you're our guest and it's your
Yes,
birthday.
it's my birthday, and I'm gonna be the guest. Some stuff happening today, besides just celebrating being 44. My girlfriend's house. That was fantastic. So had a nice night. But normally I should be getting my son at 8 in the morning on this day for my birthday, and that's the way it's written in our decree. But that uh, it's during the holiday, and he's with her, and she decided that holidays trump birthdays. So if you're watching right now, I can't see who's watching or if anybody's watching, but if you're watching right now, love to hear your thoughts. Should birthdays the most special of holidays, as I argued, or are they just like any other weekend? Let me know.
They're
I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts, Alicia?
oh, you don't want to know.
I do want to know. That's why I
Don't
asked.
ask me. Well,
Our
so this is
birthdays
a
the most
it's an
special of
it's
holiday,
an
or are they just
odd it's an odd situation because you have a birthday that's so close in the Christmas holiday. And so I feel like originally you guys should have somehow hashed that out and had it in writing because if she has the first part of Christmas, even if she has the
mm,
first part of Christmas, you should still get your birthday, right?
right?
But unless it's
Yeah.
specifically in the order that way, and if
We can
some
share that
people
on
aren't
here right
nice
now.
people,
It
it's
is not in the order that way. Right. Exactly the point. Yeah. Some people aren't
so your
nice in that
your
way.
circumstances are special. They're kind of special.
Yeah.
They are. They're different, especially because of
Yeah.
where your birthday falls. So,
Yeah. Time,
but
right?
most,
And
if the shoe was on the other foot and it was somebody else's birthday, you'd probably be like, well, yeah, that's fine. It's your birthday. Right?
Right. I would totally
Some
just
people
give her
don't
the
work that
birthday.
way.
Some
It's
people
just one
don't work
day,
that way.
right?
Unfortunately, is follow a police report. Gosh, I thought about it, and
Is it a
yeah.
battle you're willing to have?
Well, I have a pretty decent relationship with her most of the time. Like, we don't have a court order that says I get to take him to school every morning. She could take that away from me in a heartbeat. And so, even on top of like it being wrong and arguing my case and then wanting to do something different, then I'm sitting there with like, well, if I make a stink about this, what will she do in retaliation? And I miss my birthday
Mm-hmm.
with my son, but if he's going to school with me every day, how much more would he be hurt and affected by her taking that from him than me giving up my birthday?
Right.
Oh,
It's just a
yeah.
birthday.
I mean, it's a really tough dilemma, right? Like, it's just a
Yeah.
birthday. It's another day. We'll do it again. We'll go do something fun. It's gonna give me a chance to hang out with my girlfriend uh, and her son. And I know she's not listening right now because she's at work, so I can say this, but she's been like extra spoiling me and super sweet because my son's not going to be here. So I'm gonna ride that out. I'll take that extra goodness and care. She wants me to feel special and loved, and I think that's totally totally okay with me.
So
So,
for
but
future
I mean,
consideration, go ahead.
yeah. What do you think?
I was just gonna say
I
anybody
think that,
going
well,
through.
is that
Go ahead. There's a
you want me
lag,
to like?
huh?
It's just like a one of those songs when you're at the concert and stuff. No, no. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, what do I say? She's like, it's like I don't know the words to the
Well,
song that you're singing right now. So
the
the
song
whole
I'm singing is
oh
this. If anybody is in the situation and they're drafting their papers or they're mediating through something, make sure you think about those holidays and birthdays and things that may or may not overlap, and just try and think far into the future
right,
so you get it in writing, even if everything's all good
right,
with this person that you're working with. It's always great to have it in writing, because a lot of people are just going to go, oh, well, we're not going to deviate from the order and I don't like you today. So just keep that in mind
right.
for
Well,
the
it is very
future. That's
clearly
all.
make sure you have there's really there most lawyers seem to have really crappy like paperwork for these things, which is weird because this is what they do for like organizing holidays and parenting time. But I have a great parenting time plan, like a 45-page parenting time plan that is like everything in it. I'll just share with you,
Wow.
Alicia. It's really fantastic. But and so having something that detailed gives you the ability to have all those conversations, right? About like doctor's appointments and everything you're going to do. It's all in there. So it gives you a chance to talk about it, which you don't have with lawyers, unfortunately. I And I think if people wanted it, they could reach out and I'd be happy to share it with people if it make a difference. But in mine, it very clearly says Zach has his birthday, has Elijah on his birthday, December 21st from 8 a.m. till December 22nd at 8 a.m. And that's what it says, like unequivocally, those are the words. And
Right, but okay, but
and so
it doesn't negate, isn't it? Do you guys do
well,
first and
it
second
says
half of holiday?
we do, and then it says in the thing that it says very clearly that I have that holidays trump regular days. But that is a different section for my birthday. In the holiday section,
So,
with a listing off the different important dates like Mother's Day,
mhm,
Father's Day, and all the dates you have, that's where my
right.
birthday sits in the special
Hmm.
special section, and is very clear. It doesn't say like barring her holiday or anything like that. And in the holiday section, regular days. So
Right.
I think it's pretty clear in the language, but it should be something maybe to have a discussion with her about prior to this. Like, I assumed that I would get my birthday, and she assumed that my
You
birthday
would
doesn't
not.
mean shit, I guess. Right, right. Your birthday to us, so go shove it up, where.
So they say
I think it's
when
just
you assume it makes an ass out of you and me, but I think most of the time it makes that just one ass out of somebody.
John. If you share your email, I don't have access to that stuff right now. Or go on like the page, text the page to your email address or your phone number, I guess. Either one. You can you can put it in here if you want to, or text it to one of us. Anyways, I'll get you that. Anybody else that wants it also, just send me a DM, send me an email, Facebook message. Just I'll make sure that I find it and get it to you. The best one is Kids Deserve Dads, because I checked that one the most. Or my personal one, Zach Martin. Anyways, yeah, no, I think it's just pretty wild to think that I don't know, were like the most important days, and like I was like, I made the argument. I was like, birthdays happen one time. There's one 365th, and holidays happen like 50 365ths. So there's a significant difference in holiday days and birthdays. Birthdays are extra special. Those are like super holidays. It only happens once a year. It's a super special holiday.
And I don't know. I agree with you, but I don't at the same time, just because I just have a different point of view. No, I believe that if it's important to you, then it matters. So I understand your side of it, and I would say, okay, I understand you want them on your birthday, so there you go. You can have them. Have fun. You know, but me, I'm just not like, I want to have them on my birthday, because I kind of don't want to have them on my birthday. That's just me.
Right. I mean, if I didn't have my girlfriend's son on my birthday, I'd be a little more open to not having my son on the birthday also. But we could just have me and my girlfriend have a lot more fun, a lot more different fun, I guess, for sure. So, you know, I think for most parents and stuff, every state's horrible, you know, and especially if you're a dad, because usually you leave and you don't have your kids, and then you're just fighting a constant uphill battle. It's a never-ending battle. But I know Indiana, Rick, is something to look into. I think Mark Ludwig in Americans for Equal Shared Parenting will be January. Do you know what date that is, Alicia?
22nd.
22nd. 22nd. Yeah. And so there's going to be a whole bunch of people out there working on some laws and changing laws in Indiana. I quoted her. I'm pretty sure that's what I saw. Indianapolis. Yeah. So get in touch with those guys. No, Indiana courts, I'm sure not, man. That's the hard dilemma, right? Like, you fight them all the time and stuff. Like, do I cause a fight with her right now and her be more vengeful and hurtful? And then with that, and we go to court, and then the judge just says, I don't care, you know? And so I lose my birthday. I lose other times with my son, and my son loses out on all of that also, all because I want to make a point and like fight over a day, even though I think it's super special. And like, it hurt my heart and weighing on me this last week, you know, trying to study and stuff, and having this person, you know, just blatantly not care, you know, and say that I'm a bad person for wanting to have my birthday. She called me a narcissist for wanting to have my birthday. Seems legit. So
you say you're a narcissist for wanting to have the day?
You put yourself on the day.
Projection.
Oh, who does that? No one should be thinking about themselves on the day they were born. Think about others.
That's definite projection.
It was comical. It was one of those things I was like, what do you even say to that? You just let it go. So, Rick, parenting on his page, Mark Ludwig, on that page, they are doing a lot of posts about what's going on in Indianapolis on January 22nd. I don't know a lot of the details. I know what's happening, and like they're having some meetings around legislative session to change laws. And I think there might be a law in Indiana this year for equal shared parenting.
Yes.
Follow those guys. There's gonna be something going on in Indianapolis on January 22nd, and I think they would love to have anybody out there they possibly can get to go out there and support that day. I think it'd probably be at the legislature or in and around it. Is that a hotel?
I'll tell you about it if you want.
I do
You
want
want
to
to
know.
know?
Let's hear it.
Okay. So Monday, January 22nd, from 7 to 9. It's at the Holiday Inn, Indianapolis. It's on South Street, and there are tickets for it and everything like that. But just go to the Americans for Equal Shared Parenting page, and the event and all the information for it it's pretty much up there. It's listed. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, go check it out. Mark Lubbock, he's the shared parenting, and I know he probably has it on his page, but I know for sure that I've seen it on his Americans for Equal Shared Parenting page, and I think we're broadcast on there right now too. So if you're on there, go look for that stuff. If you're in and around the area, I know that's the Midwest, so like every state's super close, and you guys can get there from like things probably, but that ain't how it works out here in the West. I live in the next state from Alicia, and I'm like 6 hours, probably 4 hours from your house right now. And I'm like the next big town, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're going that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We got 5 hours of driving time before we get to a town that has like more than a dollar store.
Hey. Hey, no.
Alaska has
It's
a
true.
dollar store. They might have a grocery
It's
store.
true.
They have a grocery. Yeah, they have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pretty hit and miss. There might be a couple. Anytime, Rick, man. Happy to help you out. Sorry that you've gone through this experience, and I think one of the powerful things of this is that you eventually come out of it, and a lot of the real intense things, especially at the very beginning, dwindle. Right? Have you had that experience, Alicia? That got shared parent time, but even before you got that, it had been a while from you guys got divorced until you got shared parenting, right?
From the 4 years. It was
4 years. So
it
like,
was 4
how was,
years. Yeah.
there's a lot of energy and a lot of and kind of some tit for tat probably things and stuff early on fighting about things, but how was it near the end? Like, was there as much fighting near the end of that 4 years as there was like when you first started?
Oh, let's see. It was terrible for me all the time. It felt like,
Mm-hmm.
because I was taken to court for contempt repeatedly for really just, you know, fraudulent, nasty things. But then I was, you know, taken to, I mean, all of it was pretty much fraudulent and nasty, but don't take the kids to church. Oh, you're taking the kids to church, I'm taking you to court. Oh, supposedly you didn't pay this bill, taking you to court. And it's like, here's the receipt, bro. Like, it was so much. It was nuts, and it was never ending. It was never ending, to the point that
Mm.
I know I don't have like an anxiety disorder. I know that, but I know that period of time gave me anxiety issues, to the point now that, I mean, still, if my phone dings and it's my ex, I'd have terrible anxiety about it, because it used to be every single message was just something out of this world. It was just something out of this world. And yeah,
I get
I'm
I
traumatized
have my
by
stuff
it.
turned on. I don't I know. I hear you. I well, and
And still,
rightfully so, right? I
it's
mean,
still that way now, because we're 50-50, but there's still some stuff that's just ridiculous. Ridiculous,
yeah.
that there's
Yeah.
certain people, they can't grow out of it. They can't be mature about it. And
Right.
they behave a certain way. Initially, I feel like there's people that are like,
What about
okay,
us?
here we are
What
now.
about us sane
Go ahead.
people like us? Why do we attract or are attracted to the insane like that? Because I feel like mine's the same way. Why do you think that is?
You don't want to ask me. I'm not a psychologist, but
I just
I've
are
heard
you a
lots of
psychologist?
things.
I did not know that.
No, I'm
That's
not.
okay. Hey,
I'm not.
I
And
wanted to
so
hear your
I
opinion. Hey, Jason, thanks for the birthday wish, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's hear it. What are your thoughts?
why?
Yeah.
You know, everybody's situation is different, but I think you get into these relationships, short relationships, long relationships, marriages, whatever it may be, and these people pretend to be a certain way for a certain amount of time, and I think they'll continue to pretend to be what you want them to be as long as it's serving them
Mm,
in many different ways. And
hmm
I don't know, maybe when you realize what's going on and it's no longer serving them, then they kind of, you know, pull the mask off.
mm.
They pull the mask, you know.
Yeah.
And not everybody
Like
gets to see that, but they take their mask off eventually. I don't know. It's hard to
yeah.
explain. Yeah.
I mean,
But it
I definitely feel like
go ahead.
no, I feel like that's probably true. Like who they really are as a person is this vengeful, mean person, but they didn't have it to they didn't have it to be vengeful to you, right? So you didn't see this as who they really were when you were with them because they were nice and they were loving and you were having a good time. And then at the end, then
But
all of a sudden, like this is who they are when they're being a dick and they're angry and treating people like shit and they actually are this person also, but now they don't like you. So now that they don't like you, they don't like. And when they did
right,
like you,
and
they
if
treated you like someone that you're in the group.
right, if like hindsight's 2020, right? And so these relationships we have with these people, and even if they're short, but maybe, the longer ones that you have, if you think back to the status of the relationships they had with other people, or if there was
Hmm.
somebody that crossed them, the way they treated them afterwards, then you're like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I saw them
Those all those
do a
sides.
bunch of, and you back them, you think it's a little bit justified, you
Talking
take
shit
their
behind their back to
side,
everybody and
whatever.
stuff and like yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Talking behind their back,
And then you get,
doing all that.
yeah, yeah. But you see them treat other people that way because they can't hide it all the way. You've seen them treat people a certain way, especially if you're in a relationship with them for a prolonged period of time. But
Right.
yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
It's a wild thing, man. It's a wild
That was a
thing. And
heavy
you got kids with
question.
these people and stuff. Yeah, well, that's all right. I think a good heavy question
And
every once in a while is nice. That's I mean, it's really complicated, right? Everybody's different. Even if they do
right.
similar type things, they're still different people.
Yeah.
You
Worse
don't
than
know,
that though
you know?
is worse worse than that is having children in any situation, but just at a maturing age and trying to explain to them somebody else's behavior when they ask, you
Mm,
know, even if a child's 5 or 6 or 7, or if a child's 13 and they ask you a question about their family member or their parent and go, why did they do this? Because they're tiny kids that went through kindergarten, and most kids know how it's right or wrong to treat people.
mm-hmm.
And so they see adults kind of treating people a certain way, a family member or their parent, and they go, why do they do that? Why is that okay for them to treat you this way or treat this person that way? And so you sit there and you try and explain their behavior, like what do you even say? Sometimes all you can
Right.
say is, nobody's perfect and they're just being immature, or they can't deal with A, B, or C, and so this is how they react, or, something like that. And so that's the worst part.
Yeah.
Getting through the crazy making in your own head, like trying to make yourself understand it is one thing, but when you have to explain it to a child, because maybe your son will go, darn it, why didn't I get to come over for your birthday? Or why wasn't I with you on your birthday? Now, what do you say?
Do you want to hear even worse about that? I should have told you this part. I guess I haven't told you this part. Yeah, right. What was he gonna say? Right, like especially if he knows it's my birthday. So
If he
I
knows.
drop him off after wrestling. He knows on Monday he had, and I take him to wrestling. I'm one of his coaches and stuff, and take him to wrestling practice. And we get done, and I drop him off at his mom, and she's at pool, and they go, "All right, son, I'll see you on Thursday for my birthday." And she's like, "No, you're not. It's my holiday time. We got stuff planned." And I'm like, "On my birthday?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "But it's my birthday. Like we should spend that time that day." She's like, "No, you don't. It's my holiday. I'm not arguing with you." And I was like, "I wasn't coming here to argue with you. I came in here. All I did was just tell our son that I'm gonna see him in a couple of days for my birthday because I should get my birthday." She's like, "You're not getting your birthday. It's my holiday." And I took off of work. And I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "And you're not gonna have this. We're not gonna have this argument right here in this." And I'm like, "I'm not arguing with you. I only just wished him have a good couple of days, and I'll see you in a couple of days for my birthday. That's all that I said." And you like busted
And
in
you're
and
like,
telling me that I'm wrong and that's not going to happen. Like I didn't say a word to argue with you or fight with you about it, and it was right in front of him and stuff. And then he's like standing there next to her, and so she like grabs him and like pulls him on her lap and stuff. And then he's like looking at me over his shoulder, and I was like, okay. I was like, "Son, hey, I'm gonna get out of here and stuff." And he jumps off and gives me a hug, and and so he's fully aware that like today's my birthday, and because we talked about it on Monday, and I mean he knows how his mom is, unfortunately, and he gets to and we've talked about it, before, and it's like, yeah,
that's a problem to me.
know,
I mean, pisses me off.
there's other stuff to go on and stuff too, but like that, I mean, it was
I
right
know,
in front
but
of him. Like
kids.
she made the fight right in front of him. It's like, why are you saying I'm not letting you see him, right? And instead, right in front of him, she's gonna tell me that you're not gonna see your dad for his birthday, right in front of his face. And I could tell that it hurt, you know, like he was hurt by it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chip. I think that we were both pretty badass. So appreciate you, man. I know that you got to see your kids the other day. I'm really happy for you, and I hope that you get a lot more coming up, man. So you deserve it. I know you've been doing a lot of work for yourself and for them, and I'm so happy for you. I look forward to watching so much more in the future of you guys building that relationship and having a good life together. So keep being your best, man. You're doing awesome, Chuck. Merry Christmas. So yeah, just kind of super weird. Like it was just weird to have that be like the dialogue and stuff. It could have been handled so much in not a way that was like in front of our son, and even could have been in front of him, but not in front of him like that. And the energy she had, like when she was saying that stuff, like she was vividly like pissed, like her lips were shaking and stuff, like her eyes were all big, like you could see anger in her face and her body language of how she was like showing up. It was pretty unreal, and I was like, wow, it's just my birthday.
Where's this coming from?
Wow.
What does Jason
like,
mean?
Okay, reverse engineer this episode.
Reverse engineer this episode.
Like memento style, like go back like 3 minutes and then come back to that last spot and then click it back out.
My light went out.
I don't know what this would be reverse engineered as.
What do you mean, Jason? I don't know what he means. Maybe he's like put the shoe on the other foot. But we were doing that before, and you said that you would definitely let her have her birthday. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, you know this person. I am not surprised. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like we're reading a couple of it. Yeah, this person. You know this person. I am not surprised. You're gonna get a habit with him and stuff. This is the last Christmas you're gonna miss without him. I think that's really fantastic. Last Christmas was my first one with my son, and it was really great. And I look forward to doing it again next year. You know, I think you're doing a good job by stepping into your power, you know, taking on yourself and be so you can be there. And I think everybody's witnessing that in you, and they're coming around and really supporting you having what you want to have. And so I think, man, I just the short time that I've known you and the people that I know around you and stuff, it's been great, man. And so I it's a testament to your determination and willingness to step out of yourself and see that there's more you could be, and then choosing that like each and every day. And so congratulations, man. I think I know enough to be really dangerous, and enough to also know how hard you've worked and that you are deserving of right now and more. So good job, buddy. So
That's good. Good
yeah.
message.
Yeah, I think it's important to do that stuff, man. Like, I'm hurt today. I haven't cried today or nothing like that. You know, it hurts my heart that my son's like this today. And I think through the progress through myself and my self journey in these last like 7 years of my life, where I've had the most pain that I've ever had, like I think that she thinks that she's hurting me, but like I've already been hurt so bad that this isn't even hurt. Unfortunately, it's like I'm numb to this pain. I'm like, I almost expect it, and it's just disappointing more than anything else. Like, come on, like this is still how we're doing things. Like, when does this end? You know, our son deserves better. Why are we being like this? Like, he's literally a half mile down the road. Half mile down the road. It's 60 degrees outside. I could walk my happy ass down to his house and go grab him. And that's where he's at, you know. And it's like, man, like, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna ask for her to spend the evening tonight with him and have him come with us to the movie. So I'm gonna see if she'll let me pick him up. I'm still gonna ask her. It is, man, and I get a lot of time with him and stuff, but it's not the point. Like, today's a very special day, and she knows that. And you know, we don't know how many days we get to have like this. Will I have another birthday? I mean, I intend to have 65-ish more, 70 more, but will I? You know, last one. And
that's a lot.
You know, yeah, I'm gonna be like 120. Have you ever watched Jimmy Cricket? I'm gonna live to be 123 because I play safe for you and me because I'm no fool. See, you didn't think we were gonna have any singing today, but that's one of my favorite kid cartoons. You ever watch those ones that like sits there and hangs out and like does the floating in the water and stuff, and the guy's drinking beer and eating food, and then jumps in and like he's like gonna drown and stuff, and Jimmy Cricket's gotta pull him out of the water. Remember those old cartoons?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say,
I still sing that song. Do I?
I don't know.
I still sing those songs. I love that song.
I was gonna say, just because other people might have gone through it before. Did I tell you about the time that somebody decided that it was President's Day or maybe it was Martin Luther King Day? One of the Monday, you know, where you have a 3-day weekend. You know what I'm talking about? President's Day. Do you know what I'm talking about? On a calendar, right? So my co-parent decided unilaterally that Martin Luther King Day, it might have been President's Day, one or the other, was an alternating holiday. Because it was my weekend, okay?
Okay.
And I would have got a 3-day weekend. They're like, actually, no. That's my holiday this year. You had it last year, I'm pretty sure. So it's my holiday this year because it's Martin Luther King Day. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Nobody alternates Martin Luther King Day or President's Day as a holiday weekend. Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? That happened. Sometimes people do that too. They just make up their own alternating holidays. Like, what's another one? What's a holiday that nobody really celebrates?
Right, and then
much?
what are you gonna do about it? Really, like you're gonna take them back to court, right? You're gonna take them back to court and then do it again, right? And then like, what's gonna happen? Like, you're already gonna miss the date.
So there was a fight going on probably at the time already. And so in a counterclaim, I talked about that because I was
Yeah.
dirty pissed. Because then I go
Right.
3 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks without getting to see him, because
Yeah.
that was my weekend. And then I can't remember what it was. And so I had, it's just more lost time. Just more lost time.
Right.
It's
Right.
ridiculous.
And why do you have to be a
And I
dick about it?
think,
Like, you have all the time.
yeah, that's the
It
worst
makes no
part.
sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I said this before, but I'll say it again. Like, one of my favorite things about you, but is how gracious you were in the time when you had a chance to, like, he was a total dick all the time and continues to be a dick to this day. And that, like, when you had the moment to, like, pay him back and teach him a lesson, like, you could have gotten revenge and all the things that, like, everybody, the Count of Monte Cristo right there in Casper, the Count of Casper, and you could have, like, gotten full revenge on him, and your choice was like grace and just, like, supporting him, like, hey, you know what, you fucked up, you're making poor choices, and our kids need you, and they need me, and I'm gonna just take this 50-50, and you're gonna accept it, or I'll take everything. And it's just I don't know. You're an amazing person, and I'm blessed to have you as my friend. So, hey, I want to talk about Chuck's comment
Sometimes,
because, I mean,
go
everybody has
ahead.
their moments, right? I
Thanks.
I can't say I'm perfect, so I'm not Jesus Christ, so with nails in my hands. So, um, the platform that you're talking about, Chuck, we started doing a mastermind. We're actually just getting to our goal setting period right now for my first mastermind group that we're doing with a bunch of dads. All dads are working on goals, life goals. And so we're working on building ourselves up group and supporting each other. There's 5 of us in there, and we're doing goals through the middle of February. Basically, it runs up to my bar exam. It might be selfish, but runs to my bar exam, and then looking to start another one probably in March. So I'll have to give you some information on it and stuff. But right now it's going really good. We're putting together 4 goals each. We're going to build intentions each week. We get together once a week, go through all those things, and just a bunch of coaching around how do we step up and be our best selves, and I think the grants that I'm writing, they're going to pay off, whether they pay off immediately or in the future. But my intention is to have Kids Deserve Dads centers where we do through divorce and separations for 3-4 months. While they're in there, they're building an intentional and purpose-driven life for themselves, and they get a chance to work on it, and they have furnishing for their kids, and they have a place to sleep that's warm and comfortable, and they have workout partners, and they have a gym routine, and we help them balance their budgets, and we do financial work. We help on building businesses. We work on physical fitness and relationships, and we have relationship coaching, and we do all these things to give these dads a real place to come and be supported. And then we do, like, outdoor events and relationship building activities. The one we're building right now, this is the one I'm really pumped up about. And I would love to have everybody come out here to Rapid City, South Dakota. Some of y'all can sleep in my lawn, but not everybody can sleep in my house. And I can probably get other lawns for you. But we're doing the Guinness World Record water gun fight on Father's Day here in Rapid City, South Dakota. So 75 people. And so Kids Deserve Dads is on the books for this next year. And we're going to break that record here in Rapid City, South Dakota on June 16th. I should know the date. But June 16th, and we're going to have the largest outdoor water gun fight in Memorial Park here in Rapid City. That we're doing, like, my experience of Father's Day events that I've been to before I was a father, but then also after a father, really are, like, revolving around drinking. There's so much stuff on drinking on Father's Day stuff. Like, you watch all the commercials, they're gonna have all these beer commercials about, like, guys hanging out, barbecuing and drinking in the backyard, right? Like, which I'm cool with. I'm gonna probably have a beer. I'm not gonna. I want to celebrate being a father, right? And when I'm drinking too much, I'm never my best fatherhood. And so when I want to be the best dad I can be, I'm gonna do that sober. And I get to spend Father's Day with my son. I believe I could probably make sure that's correct, but if it's her weekend or some shit. But that to be a memory that we have, that we build, that's something that's going to be really powerful, right? And what's better than an outdoor water gun fight in the middle of June? Like, we just got done with winter. We're going to do we're going to be live on that, baby. I'm ready to go. You let me know, Brian. And that with that water gun fight, just going to be a way to kind of announce what we're working on, what we're doing here in this community even more. kind of give us some notoriety, you know. I mean, right now Stanford University has the record, and we gotta beat that shit, you know. I'm surprised those liberals got 4,000 water guns inside of California somehow. So
They just shoot water.
thanks.
So
You better have that orange tip on that green gun, or else we're gonna be in trouble. But I think that it's there's a lot of great stuff, and so I've been really putting together a lot of things, Chuck, to make this stuff happen. And I'm gonna be honest, not passing the bar this last year really jacked with my time frames and kind of like my vision that I had for it. And so I've been putting things into place in different areas and different orders, trying to make it work. And they're all really coming together right now. I should have a contract. I thought I'd have it this week. Maybe I'll get it for my birthday. I haven't checked my emails yet today. And thanks, John, for the birthday wish. Appreciate that. That we're going to be doing the state of Wyoming for doing fatherhood classes. And I've been working with the state of Wyoming, and there's a whole, government agency that helps Wyoming Children's Trust Fund. I think there's a lot of those trust funds around the country. Like in Louisiana has one, in Minnesota, I think has one. And that I've been getting on board with them and working with those groups and contract to pay us money to teach these classes. And so all the dads in Wyoming who want to take a fatherhood class, whether you want to get one that's court ordered and you have to take it, or if you just want to be a better dad, or the requirements that I saw don't even require me to have them be dads. That they could just be a man in Wyoming. So if you want to be a dad in Wyoming, you can. And it's just great information about showing up for yourself and being the best version of you all the time. And then, yeah, buddy, I know. Well, when I get this done, so my intention, the latest director is a friend of mine. I'm from the capital of Wyoming, anyways, and super excited. And so it's all ladies. Like my experience of these government-run agencies, and probably why we have a lot of these problems, is we have no men in social work. Like it's like a freaking ghost town in there. If you want to go pick up some single ladies, I think even better than being a nurse, go be a social worker. There are 0 guys in the social worker classes. Tell your kids that they should take one class.
That is no joke.
So
that is no joke.
This is where all the girls.
No joke.
All the girls are social work. But
that's no joke.
So they have these national meetings and stuff, and she's invited me to come to a couple of them. And so my intention is to go. But that getting this done here in Wyoming is going to set up the precedent that we can do this stuff, and then we can take it from the success that we've had, and then keep growing that. And every state that has this stuff, there's federal funds coming into these states to do these types of things, but there's no guys doing it. Exactly. Government jobs are safe jobs, right? Like, hey, they're going to pay us. If we do it the way they say, we're going to keep getting paid, and we can do other things with that money or our time. It's not 40 hours a week to do this government job. And so we were to do this and also do more to provide. And so and then giving guys jobs across the area, right? I mean, I'm not a social worker, and they're letting me teach this class. And if I teach this class, I can teach other guys to teach this class, and those, right? And then we can do it across the board. And anyways, one really exciting thing, one of my friends is the CEO of Taco John's. Taco John's is like a regional. Hey, Jason, you know Taco John's because you're in Minnesota, man. They got Taco John's all over the place.
I love Taco John's.
Yeah, my friend Jim. Oh my God.
Everybody loves Taco John's.
I know, right? It's so good. The Olays, fire. They got their dessert out again this year. So, Jason, we should talk about it. But that he is a master of franchising, right? I mean, the guy's like, he's a CEO. Mm-hmm. A year, heck yeah, Olays, baby. And he's been doing it for like I think he's been a CEO for like 7 years, but he was the COO for like 15 years before that. So he's like the guy for Taco John's. And so he's going to be an advisor for the Kids Deserve Dad's board. He's on our board. Help us out to set up all the different programs and make it so it's you don't have franchises in nonprofits, but basically a franchise of the nonprofit that can go from state to state
regionally, basically. And then it's all
and so every town you go to, because I think Casper could have one, it'd be a 4-plex, a 6-plex for what he's, and then they have an office they can go into. We can do supervised visits, we can do exchanges, we can do parenting classes, we can do cooking, all these things in one spot.
Right.
And so it's just amazing to have that opportunity, and then have him be able to come in there and say, okay, here's how you need to organize these things. And so he's going to help me organize I can duplicate it over and over again. And so we can have, Denver could have one, Minneapolis can have one, St. Paul is like the same town, right? But they should have one too, because it's not that big of a place, or it's that big of a place. They could easily have 20 dads living in their families living in a complex.
Would it be like chapters, kind
Yeah.
of? Is that what you would call it, as a chapter?
Yeah, I mean, I think a chapter is probably there's another word for it, which I'm blanking on right this second. I have been like filling my head with law stuff, and that's not part of what I'm studying right now for the bar exam. But like affiliates, chapters, yeah, probably. And so we'd have them across the whole entire country. My goal is to have 500 in the next 20 years. So Twin Cities, it's one city, right? Like it's one gigantic city with like 20 suburb cities all around it and stuff. It's a big town. I've never been to Minneapolis. I've never been to Minnesota. Yeah. I've never been to Michigan or Wisconsin. So
we already talked about this the other day, Globetrotter.
Yeah, let's go. I know. But he's talking about Twins. It's the second time in like a week that this has come up, that Minneapolis, and we were talking about Michigan last week. I like to go.
Yes, so, it's good. It's good.
But I think that this is something that there is a change of pace going in this direction. And so now that we have some of this stuff going, now getting with these government agencies, getting these programs organized where I can get people who have seen us do it to then help talk about us and promote us to other different people in their position will help us to do more. And, is it the best thing we can do in the whole entire world? Is it going to change everything? It won't probably change much of anything, but if it helps one dad and a kid build a better relationship, or one kid have, systemically, no, but in individual lives, like people's lives are gonna be touched. And if you get 6 hours, you get one thing out of a 6 hour class, like, and it does something good for you, it's gonna make it better. And so I'm excited about doing it. The contract's for 100 classes, 100 dads right now in Wyoming, but that they said once I filled those, they would just redo up the contract again. And so And so I got some guys in Wyoming ready to do some stuff. And the Father's Day event here in Rapid City is going to be really kind of a gangbusters thing. And I should be, at that point in time, I will just been admitted into the bar exam, maybe like a couple weeks before that. So it'll be like a whirlwind of greatness going June, and really setting us up to do some amazing things, like really to take this to the level that I've been dreaming of. And I've been seeing like worldwide changes. Like you go to places, like you see CASA all over the country, right? Or you have like Salvation Army, right? So every town you go to, they got one. It's what I see for kids or dads, is that everywhere you go, there's a group of men empowering men to be the best versions of themselves and helping them do that for their kids and bring their kids around and building relationships and building community and connection. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm like, I got so
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. I'm excited about it.
We have to shout out
one of the things that go ahead. Who you shout out to?
Brian Lee for the Christmas marathon that's coming up.
Yeah, we do. Shout out.
It's coming up, people. And
I'm going to be live on it.
More videos.
Christmas.
He needs more videos.
You got videos?
Too. I read.
Videos,
he needs more
pictures. I didn't read any of that. Send stuff to Brian. Brian, if you would, put your contact, how you want people to reach you, down below, so everyone can get a hold of you. And Jason, I'm fucking getting. I've been studying a lot, and last week I got my most questions I've done in a week so far. And I intend to beat that this week, even with Christmas and stuff going on. And so I'm planning on putting down a couple thousand bar review prep questions in the next month, 2 months, and passing this thing. I missed it by 5 questions. I'm gonna get it by like a lot more than that this time. So I appreciate your guys' support, and like doing this stuff with Alicia. This is a program that I think I've been talking about doing for a while. I thought I was going to pass the bar exam last February, and this would be like this next summer thing, kind of like an add-on. And then
so did we.
Was do kind of a God, I know, right? And so it's just kind of been like it was a lull, and so I get to get back on it. And one of the things that's really helped support me in this, I think, has been the discipline that I've had this year around the gym. has made a huge impact on my ability to stay focused and committed to these things. And like, the meal prepping I've been doing and the eating and just being very disciplined and focused on like what I'm trying to accomplish, and having that commitment to my accomplishments being the top thing that's getting everything done, over and above and beyond that I want to do or anything else, but that like, this is what's going to move me forward. And so, even the last couple of days when I've been dealing with this stuff with my son, clearing my mind, letting it go, and then diving into these questions, putting down 30, 50 bar review questions in a row so I can be more prepared and I'm going to be better. So mentor, like finding me a mentor, I would love a mentor. Or would I be a mentor?
Oh, you have mentors
I think
already?
we're gonna have. I have a coach right now that I work with.
A coach,
life
okay,
coach
sure.
that I have. I have a coach, so I think everybody should have a coach. At least one or two. I have a coach, and she's a business, personal life coach, and really just helps me to go over. I do have some mentors that I work with lawyers and stuff. The hard part, bar prepping, is a freaking test, man, and you got to be a test taker. I'm gonna be really good when I go in court. When I'm a great lawyer, I have no problem with that. But if you want to know the rules against perpetuity, man, dude, I don't know. I probably can't even recite that right now, and if I could recite it, I don't know what the hell it even means. It is the craziest rule, but like, there's that kind of stuff. It's just rule on top of rule. And the book that you go over is like a 1,300 like rules, and then the whole exam's like difficult questions around 1,300 pages of rules that you gotta know them all. So the rules, man, it's like, oh, you lawyers are a bunch of wild people. But I think they're really good at it's this black letter law memorization, sitting down for 6 hours straight at a desk in a chair like this, which I've been practicing on significantly over the last couple of months, because this is something that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not used to doing. And so I've sat in this chair. I've been on my computer a lot more. I've been making reels and memes and doing my bar prep questions right here, answering emails, not from my phone, but from my computer. That way I'm actually more simulating the experience I'm going to have. And so, but then having a lawyer mentor, like Melissa Isaac, Mark Reel, like those regularly, both of them are in favor of like supporting me on helping this stuff out and getting this going. So I have a couple of pretty good mentors. They say I don't need to work at a law firm here in town. I kind of been feeling like I should get a job at a law firm for a year or so and get some experience under my belt before I go out on my own. And some pretty hard requirements, like get my son every day at 2:30. I'm picking him up from school every single day, and they're either gonna get to work with me and let me have that time. And if they're not, then I can't work in that office. If nobody will accept that as a requirement, then I'm gonna. So, and she's my biggest proponent. One of the people she's like, you can do all this stuff. You don't need to have anybody. Like, once you start working, you're going to be so good at it. It's not a big deal. The hard part is just getting through this test. And so I've been really focused on the things that she's been advising me on, and her big thing, and the thing that I have, that I really talk about a lot, is looking at yourself and looking at myself. And if I want something different, what's something that I haven't done that if I did could make all the difference? And Melissa told me before that last test, probably about a month out, that I need to be doing more bar review questions. And I was like, I got a plan. I'm doing this stuff. What I was afraid of was the bar review questions, because I don't like seeing me getting a 50% when I need to be getting 60%. And so I was afraid of getting those numbers. And so I'm just going to keep learning and memorizing everything. Well, you can memorize all the facts, but if you don't see the facts in question form and how they're actually going to show up, and if you don't know what the law looks like when you see the question, then you might miss it, or you're going to miss it like I did. And so it's been really good. And I just been really getting down on that. A 63 is the goal number on the bar prep. And so my goal is 70. I want a 70%. And that's what I'm shooting for. A 70% will keep me the amount that I need to be at. And also, I think I'll be pretty freaking happy with 70%. I got like 61 last time or something like that, and I need a 63. And so 70% is going to mean that I'm well above it and I'm qualified to do it in other states. A lot of other states are, I would qualify in a couple other states. So that's the kind of number I need to get. So just practice, practice, practice. And then being here with Alicia, and then working with Daniel Sawaya, one of my good friends, and then George Custodials on getting the Wyoming chapter really moving with kids or dads, because the classes we're teaching and stuff, we get to do other things. We don't necessarily have to, but I've got opportunities with the state parks department and stuff that want to help us out. And so the state parks department is actually going to let us do events. So we get to do events at different state parks for kids or dads, and they're gonna like sanction them. So like free passes and free park passes at Kirk Gowdy and a couple other things. So we have a lot of moving pieces right now to get these things lined up, and my intention is to line them all up again really well, and then just duplicate, and then we're doing it everywhere, and then we have national gatherings and stuff of getting paid to come and have meetings and bringing in people from around the country all into one spot to have like a real paid for meeting that we can fund through the services we provide and the help we give to these families and these dads. And I think the amount of energy we can put towards changing these laws and more lobbyists, things on those lines, we're going to be better to having email groups and stuff, because we have such a connection through these guys coming through the programs that we have so much more information that we can then piggyback off of and then pass out to people. Whereas right now, scatter and stuff, and having a centralized group that can actually bring this kind of money in and bring in this kind of business and then pass it out is going to give us so much more opportunities to have more of an impact quicker. And there's so many laws that change besides just shared parenting. Like shared parenting is one thing, right? But I could think of 6 or 7 laws in Wyoming that I think need to be changed right away. Right. And equally as important, if not more important sometimes than shared parenting, depending on your situation. And in most of the states, a lot of those ones are also, even in the states that we got equal shared parenting passed. And so we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work. It is not just getting 50 states to have shared parenting that's going to make it happen. Yeah, buddy. Me too, man. That's the ultimate goal, right? Is shared parenting, and we're on the right side, man. Like the right side of history, the right side of raising our kids and making a better world, and not letting those people who want to use and to be assholes is what we're doing, have that power, and we're taking it back. And we got 5 states, guys like Mark Ludwig and stuff traveling around the globe, meeting with all these different people across the country to help organize these things. And all these states that are working on it, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire. I mean, we could go take over the Midwest like this time. And I know Texas has probably got one, and South Dakota is going to have one this year. Tom Pischke does one every year, and he's an amazing advocate. He does a great job. And my parenting time with my son is significantly more than it would have been because of the work he did here in South Dakota. Other states, Oregon will probably have one this year. Quite a few other states will have them this year. And we just keep working on it, and then keep stacking, and having money come into a group that we can then be really pointed with and know we're going to get it and know what we're going to do with it is going to be so powerful forward, even beyond this. And then once we get shared parenting, like those enemies are not going to go away, right? The DV groups and the lawyers and those groups are not going to like roll over. They're going to come back in a couple of years and try to do something different. They're going to try to tweak this rule, these laws, and make them fit so they can then weasel keep doing it. Yep, weaken this bill, and then make it be, basically back to what it was. And so we get to be vigilant, and we get to stay focused on maintaining these bills and growing these bills and strengthening the wording that we have inside of these things, and then taking on the other bills and keep going. And what we need funds. And if we can get funds, we take it. I think government money, if we can use government money to fight the government, I mean, that's like some sweet poetry right there. Like, I'm looking forward to taking their funds and then using it to take them down. So Sarah, I'm not coming for your job, but some other people might be losing one. I think, but that's, and if you're going to do it, that's a reason to do it, right? So I don't know.
Yes.
I like that idea, Brian. I think get one in Delaware, and we're going to have one in Wyoming next year also. Alicia and I are putting together some stuff to make it happen, and I'll be more involved in Wyoming and South Dakota the following year because I'll have passed the bar exam and I won't be studying. Yeah, if we could all get along, right? The powers that be love us not getting along because that supports maintaining this crappiness that we have going on. So,
Right.
man,
Right.
I appreciate everybody coming on here and being on here today.
For Zach's
Ramble.
birthday special, that's what we're gonna call it.
Yeah. It was just really great. There's so much good stuff, and I've had a big vision. I've written it down a couple times. I continue to keep editing it and working on it. You know, part of that is having these mastermind groups. I want to do a backpacking trip every year with a group of dads to Dad's Lake, and I want to bring our kids. It's in the Wind Rivers, and I was putting together a thing this year, and I think I might have been a little overzealous in my design of it and stuff. But I'm doing these mastermind groups, and my intention through the mastermind groups is that and continue to do them with me over and over again. That they get an invite to come to Dad's Lake, and then there probably fees, or you can buy your own gear and that kind of stuff. But if you don't have your own gear and you want me to take care of it all for you, I can do that. But that we bring our kids, and it's really a good chance, that connection, that completion of a goal, and using that as a reward for taking on your life and taking on what you want to look like and making that happen. And it will be every year. I'm gonna do it again this year. We did a couple of years ago with Elijah. His lake is in the Wind Rivers of Wyoming, and what we do is we go out there, and my intention is to do it in the 12th to 15th of August, that kind of range period, because that's when the Persid meteor shower is. So the wildflowers will be gone mostly and stuff, and there won't be any snow up there, which is good. Like 30 degrees at nighttime, but we can lay out there by Dad's Lake, do some fishing, and at nighttime, with one of the most epic dark skies you can get around the country, you get to watch the Persid's meteor shower. And for anybody from like a big city, you live in a big city, or you live around it. Up north, you probably can see that stuff in the Boundary Waters, but that in the city you can't see these things, and it's 100 meters an hour. It's like an amazing. Oh well, you know what? I have a double sleeping bag, so we can cuddle. No, that's for me, and my son, and then but we can go up there and hang out and have campfires, and it's just a great. I mean, epic chance to just connect and be in relationship with the kids, and something that they'll always remember. Like they'll always remember going to Dad's Lake. Oh, my light went off. So, so yeah, I think it's going to be pretty incredible. So I don't know how that happened, but I didn't touch nothing. I didn't even move. So that's one of the things that I want to be doing. I think those are the kind of trips, the mastermind groups, the really focusing on how do we show up, how do we have the lives that we want, supporting other guys going through that, and then taking people on where they're in their worst, right? Like the moment that you're leaving your family and moving into whether you choose to leave or not, and you're going to an apartment or whatever, and you don't have your kids every night, and you don't, is a really traumatizing and sad and lonely place. And to have a facility, the intention is to call it, the first one here in Rapid City will be called Elijah's House of Hope, and then everywhere else I intend to call them a House of Hope. So thanks to Philly Slim for that. He gave me that fantastic. Him and I have ran with it for a lot since then. But that Elijah's House of Hope, and when guys come there, we help them up. Hey, let's get it going. Let's get in the gym. Let's learn to meal prep. Let's eat good foods. Let's not drink beer. Let's not smoke pot. Let's not do other. Let's get focused on building a life. When do you get to have your kids? Let's focus on how are we going to do this. Let's sit together and make plans. Hey, we all have our kids this weekend. What are we going to do? And let's battle plan this out together. Let's organize. Let's get an approach, so that way when you have your kids, you're not oh shit, it's Sunday morning, we didn't do anything yet, because you already have a plan. You got your fishing gear all organized, and everything's in the cooler ready to go on Friday morning. All you have to do on, or Friday night, it is put everything in the cooler because it's already all done. You made all the sandwiches. You got, you got the tackle. You got all the hooks are already hooked on the fishing poles to be prepared so you can have that weekend. And when you go fishing, it's not a traumatic, anxious experience because kids are ready to fish and you're not prepared and all these things are going on, but that you're already all prepared. And so it's just like helping these guys out. We go through our checkbooks, we go through child support, and helping these guys out, like organizing that stuff. And how do you get prepared? Hey, you got to pay all these bills now. Like you need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're at so you can pay all these things so you can then go out there and know what you can do otherwise. And it's just so important. And so I think it's gonna be amazing. Casper?
What?
Are you gonna run the one in Casper? You'd like be the only female director of Kids Deserve Dads, but you'd be legit.
I definitely, absolutely will do that. I would love to do that, but I don't know if everybody would like that because I'm a chick. I'm a girl. Some guys,
Right.
They're like, meh.
You
She's
can
a
be the
lady.
director. We can just hire
She
guys
doesn't
to do all the other
understand.
stuff. It's just put your mustache on and
Oh, I could just be Wyatt all the
do
time.
just be Wyatt all day. Yeah, they would be totally about it. So, I'm gonna do the gym.
But yeah,
What do you have going
definitely
on
I
today,
will.
Alicia? Okay, I know you would. What do you want to do today? What else do you have going on? Anything fun?
Running kids around. It's Christmas break. My daughter's at the mall doing girl
Ooh,
things, those kinds of
sounds
things.
scary.
Pretty much it. So,
Yeah,
hanging out.
nice. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. Everybody else out there, hope you have a
You
wonderful Christmas also. I intend to, I'm going to hang out with my girlfriend's family. She's like a gigantic, huge family. So we're going to like some cabin thing or something. And I'm going to meet like 50
nice.
people I've never met. And she's like, you're me watching you. And I'm like, oh God, good thing I'm not worried
That's always
about
fun.
it. But
It's always fun.
yeah. Oh yeah. 50 new people. I'll remember no names. And I just get to be cool the whole time. So hey, hard time. What do you
People,
think?
wait, get with Brian Lee on the Christmas marathon. And if anybody needs
Yes.
information about the Indianapolis event, get with Americans for Equal Shared Parenting or Mark Ludwig, or you could message me, or Zach probably has all the information somewhere too, but that's where you can get all of that stuff that is upcoming and going on.
A lot of good stuff. If you're having a hard time this year and stuff, if you need some support, if you need some help, reach out. I think you reach out to any of these pages that we were talking about that we're on right now. Anybody, reach out. Anybody that's in this movement, especially, we're here for you. And I don't think anybody who's calling out for help. And do something for yourself. It's like the weather here is gorgeous, so go outside. Take care of yourself. Be good to yourself, and love yourself because you deserve it. And you can make it through. You've made it through everything you've made it through so far. And so remember that, and do something today to move yourself forward. Keep taking baby steps to be your best, and you're going to have a happier, healthier life, regardless of whatever goes on in your circumstances are. So I love all you guys, man. I appreciate the people of the community, the friends that I've gotten. I love you guys, and you guys are amazing. So thank you so much. Alicia, you're one of my favorites of all time. So thank you for being great. Give the family some love.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm going to celebrate here. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to throw some weights around. So, all right. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. I don't have to end it. You're actually in charge.